Today's speech is going to be on domestic violence. On July 15, 2001, my 2-year-old niece called the house asking to speak to my nephew. She said, "Jose, when are you coming home to play with me?" He said, "Oh, tell Grandma to come and, bring you to the house." On July 17, 2001, we got a call saying that Savannah and her mom, Kathy, had been murdered. The neighbors were interviewed and asked why they didn't call the police. They said, "Oh, we thought it was a normal dispute they always had." They didn't think anything about it. Domestic violence needs to stop today. We can't wait until someone else gets hurt or someone else dies. I will go over what domestic violence is, the types of domestic violence, and what the laws on domestic violence are, knowing how to identify domestic violence, and what we need to do to stop domestic violence. Domestic violence starts long before the first hand is raised. Domestic violence is a pattern of abuse in a relationship used by one of the partners to maintain control over the other, and domestic violence is considered a person living with you under the roof, the same roof. So somebody abusing you under your same roof, that is considered domestic violence. According to the Domestic Violence Resource Center, 1 in 4 women have experienced domestic violence in their lifetime. Every 9 seconds, a woman is abused. 3 million women are physically abused by their domestic partners every year. Women ages 20 to 24 are at the greatest risk. An average of 3 women and 1 man are killed daily by their domestic partners. Domestic violence can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic, and psychological. These behaviors can intimidate, manipulate, humiliate, frighten, terrorize, threaten, injure, or wound someone. You got your physical abuse, where it's hitting, slapping, shoving, grabbing, pinching, biting, hair pulling, damaging your property when angry, leaving the person in dangerous or unfamiliar place, scarring them by driving recklessly, hurting their children, imprisonment, cutting out all outside communication, attempting to have any sexual contact or behavior with the victim without consent includes rape, attacking sexual parts of the body, forcing sex after physical violence. This is sexual abuse. And it's also holding them down during sex, accusing them of cheating, insulting them in a sexual way, and making them have sex with other people. Your emotional abuse is telling someone that they are ugly and if they leave you, no one will ever love them, and also calling them names. Economic abuse is controlling their money by not giving them any access to any money and not letting them go to school or have a job. Psychological abuse is threats of harming someone, self, a partner, children, or family friends. Isolation from their family and friends and children. You might be wondering what the laws on domestic violence are. One thing you need to understand is that it changes from state to state. Assault and battery to a domestic partner is a Class 1 misdemeanor, and it results in probation, fees, community service, and education treatment programs. The third time he or she gets arrested for the assault is felony. Rape against a domestic partner is considered life in prison, and protective orders are usually issued to protect the victim. And just because there are all these laws on domestic violence doesn't mean that they are going to stop with the violence. Identifying if someone is being abused might seem hard to any of us. If we have the slightest suspicion that somebody is getting abused, you need to do something about it. Physical abuse, you will see bruises, black eyes, and broken bones. Emotional abuse, some victims will undergo noticeable changes. Their personality is going to change. If you ask them about their home, they're going to tell you something different. If you invite them to your home, or they invite, you want to go over to their house, they're going to make up some stories. And some people will actually come forward and tell you, hey, give you little hints that they are getting abused. We need to stop domestic violence and help the victims. You can do something that is not harmful. You can call the police if you hear any domestic violence. You can speak publicly against it. You can encourage your neighborhood watch to become more vigilant. You can reach out to someone that you might think that is being abused. And remember these numbers to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233 and 1-800-787-3224. If somebody's getting abused, give them these numbers. In conclusion, now you know how to stop domestic violence. We talked about domestic violence, the types of domestic violence, what the laws of domestic violence are, knowing how to identify domestic violence, and what we need to do to stop domestic violence. When you see or know of someone being abused, help them by reporting the situation. Be their voice, because they don't have one. I wish I would have helped Kathy and my niece. I wish the neighbors would have called the police or done something about it, but now they're gone. Don't let it be too late. Do not wait till their funeral. Thank you.